So hopefully you guys can see the presentation. I'm going to pull down the chat and the questions. Okay, so 3 reasons why your new diet won't work. Again, if you guys have any questions or anything, just go ahead and pop them in there, and we'll hit them along the way, or you can save them at the end. But the main thing we're going to be talking about today is 3 reasons why your new diet won't work. And we think this is, critically important, especially this time of year, because, what most people are doing is that they're going to do some sort of diet, whether it's a new diet that's out there, and they might lose a little bit of weight, but the statistics show is that the diets that most people try, they don't work. And I see it day in and day out. Emily sees it day in and day out. People just don't seem to, work. So we're going to teach you a new way to approach this, and this is more about the trim body transformation, more about a lifestyle change. So what you're going to learn today, again, the 3 reasons why your new diet won't work, and then, like I said, we're going to talk about not just the problem, we're also going to be talking about the solution, and this is about how the lifestyle change with the trim body transformation, this is the answer. And I really believe this is the answer. I've done a ton of studying on this. Emily's done a ton of studying on this, and we know that certain things work and certain things don't work, and we're able to apply it in our patients and in the people we work with. And so, like I said, we see the results, and we see what's going to work for certain people and what doesn't work. And like I said, this really seems to be, not invariably, but for most people that follow this program really does work. So I'll give you a case. This is a good example of why other things don't work. This is a 42-year-old female that came to see me that had been on just about every diet plan that was out there. There was Weight Watchers, there was OptiFast, there was Atkins. She did even the HCG diet, which is a very strict diet. And not only that, she was also trying to train for a marathon. And probably this relates to a lot of people out there. Maybe you have tried Weight Watchers, maybe you have tried OptiFast, and a lot of times it works for a short term, but then what happens is you gain the weight back. And so that's what she was coming in to see me. She said, look, I've tried all these things and nothing has worked. The problem with her is that, there was a couple of things that she was still doing wrong. One of the main problems was that she continued to eat wheat and dairy and in large amounts. Those foods are not technically bad foods, and they're really not even unhealthy foods, but in a lot of times those are foods that can inhibit your weight loss. So we really try to look at those things, especially with their sensitivities in certain individuals. The other problem was that this was not a sustainable solution. Her mindset was to eat less and exercise more, and what happened was that she ended up getting into this eat less, exercise more, deprivation and binge cycle. So again, she'd lose weight, but then she would gain it all back. And again, I'm sure you've done it. If you dieted, then you probably gained some of the weight back. Again, that's just what statistics show. So it does have to become more of a lifestyle solution. And then the other thing is that the exercise can actually be bad for you. She actually exercised herself into metabolic damage, and that's typically what we see with this long duration cardio. So that a lot of times does not work. The things that did tend to work when we made some lifestyle changes was that we changed some things up. First thing is we cleaned up her diet based on her unique sensitivities. So in her case, there was wheat and dairy, and that's really 2 big culprits for a lot of people that are out there. For a lot of people that have trouble losing weight, wheat and dairy generally should be at least minimized, if not completely eliminated. And then we also slowly incorporated these dietary changes. And what we did was we made changes along the way, because it's good to start off with some sort of foundational plan, but then you do need to make tweaks along the way until you figure out what works for your unique physiology. And then what else we did? We changed her workout routine to turn on powerful fat-burning hormones. So we turned from the long-duration cardio and more to the short-duration, high-intensity workouts, and this made a world of difference for her. And this is just one example, and she went from, I can't remember what her starting weight was, but I think it was around like 250 pounds, and I think last check she was down to like 170 or something. I mean, this was like life-changing after she had tried just about everything else, again, including some real strict and some real crazy diets, and none of them worked. But now, again, this program really worked for her, and she looks like $1 million. She feels like a different person. Again, life-changing results. So 3 reasons why your new diet won't work, and these are kind of the same reasons why her diets didn't work. First thing is that counting calories is oversimplified. It's not as simple as just saying, okay, the number of calories in versus the number of calories out, that's going to be the equation to figure out how you lose weight. It's much more complicated than that. Most diets also do not account for food sensitivities. Again, I was talking about wheat and dairy being the two biggest culprits there. And then how over-exercise can actually slow your progress. And this is the other problem we see. We go to the gym January and February, and everyone's in there on the treadmill or on the ellipticals, and they might be there for 2 or 3 hours. And I keep going back, and a couple months later, they look the same. Again, there's a way to exercise correctly, and Emily will talk about that. So first thing here is the counting calories is oversimplified, and I'm going to hand this over to Emily. She's going to talk about this a little bit more.
Thank you, and it's great to have you guys this evening again. Thanks for bearing with us. Calories do matter, so sometimes we hear people say calories just absolutely aren't important at all, and that is oversimplified, but so is the attitude that all we need to do is pay attention to the calories in, calories out, and that will take care of our weight loss issues. And I'm sure that many people on the webinar this evening have gone through a diet that counted points or calories or whatever you might have and still ended up frustrated and hungry and, probably wanting to pull someone's eyes out somewhere along the way, because, what happens is when we get into that really low calorie state, we can have some very adverse physical effects as well. But definitely it is more important to address the hormonal effects of food and nutrients, and that is so heavily overlooked in the diet and fitness world still today. So we're going to dig into that a little bit more. So we're going to talk about the hormonal impact of food. So on the left-hand part of your screen here, you'll see what 100 calories of protein looks like, and on the right, 100 calories of grains. And if I just ask the average person, what are the healthier foods here that you see, probably they're going to pick things off of the right-hand side. If I said, okay, for breakfast, would it be better off to have a little bit of bacon and a little bit of roast beef, or how about some whole grain bread and some rice cakes? Most people are probably going to say the whole grain bread and the rice cakes are a healthier option. But the problem is when we consider the hormonal impacts of these foods, the starchy carbohydrates on the right are going to actually spike our blood sugar and therefore our insulin levels in the body. And with insulin resistance, we actually end up causing the body to store fat. However, on the other hand, the foods on the left-hand side are typically insulin neutral in the body, so they don't spike that insulin quite as much, and therefore our body stays in more of a blood sugar neutral and fat burning state. So we've kind of got this all flipped on its head when we look at it from the traditional diet mentality, as far as, okay, which of these foods are the lower calorie, and can I eat 1 slice of bread or 2 slices of bread? Really, we're a lot better off just leaving the bread on the plate.
All right, so the other reason here is that it does not account for food sensitivities. I already touched on this a little bit, but these are the two big things that you need to consider eliminating, or at least minimizing, if weight troubles are part of your problem here. And this is wheat on the left and dairy products on the right. And what happens with these foods is these foods, in a large percentage of people, again, especially with weight loss resistance, these foods are really inflammatory foods. And food sensitivity is basically like your body is trying to fight off these foods, because that's really what this looks like. So if you eat, let's say, a piece of gluten, and then that gets digested, but that food actually goes through your gut and into your bloodstream, and your body develops antibodies to that food. So you're having kind of this chronic immune system activation if you have a gluten sensitivity or if you have a dairy sensitivity, and that really does wreak havoc not only in your gut, but it also wreaks havoc all over your body. So you can have this inflammatory process, and this can present in multiple different locations, including, again, you tend to have more weight gain because you have some more inflammation, but you can also have joint issues, you can have skin issues like psoriasis or eczema, you can have fatigue is a big complaint of these food sensitivities, bloating, again, all the digestive problems, constipation, diarrhea, acid reflux. There's so many problems that these foods contribute to that, regardless if it isn't causing weight gain or not, we still think for most people this should be something that you should probably minimize anyway, because there's not a lot of nutrient value in these foods, and you can get a lot of these nutrients elsewhere. But like I said, people really, when they get off these foods are, they feel so much better. It's really life-changing. And really one of the best things that we see is that weight tends to come off so much more quickly. You know, we've had a couple people that have actually been eating pretty well, you know, from a calorie standpoint, even from a hormonal standpoint. The actual macronutrient breakdown is pretty good, but they were still eating one of these foods. You know, like for one example was patient of or a client of Emily's.
Sure.
And she was just eating dairy, and maybe you can tell them a little more about her story.
Yeah, and really this is a great story because she was eating very minimal amounts of dairy. She was having a little bit of creamer in her coffee, and then she would have a whey protein shake about 3 times per week post-workout. And what we found was when we eliminated those things and she replaced her whey with NP Pro and got rid of her coffee creamer, she lost so much weight around her middle, almost at the snap of a finger. I mean, it was incredible how quickly she just completely transformed her body. And she had been so frustrated because she was doing everything right with the exception of having that little bit of dairy in her diet.
And that's what's so cool about these food sensitivities. If these are a problem for you and you have an inflammatory weight loss resistance, if you get off these foods, you will see weight come off quickly. And not only that, you will feel so much better. So like I said, most people, once they do this and they see how much better they feel and they see the weight starting to come off, they will not go back to eating these foods. So, you know, I was already saying most people should be avoiding wheat and dairy. And, yeah, this is really the truth. We see profound clinical results when people eliminate these foods. You know, for all the, you know, success stories that we have, and we have some fantastic success stories, I mean, people just feel, you know, 10 years younger. They said, I've had so many people say I haven't felt this good since I was 20 or since I was 30, and they're like 60 years old. And they just feel, again, they feel so much better. And almost all those cases that have the, you know, life-changing results is that they get off wheat and dairy. And that's, again, that's one of the almost foundational aspects of people feeling better and losing weight.
Next, we're going to talk about over-exercise impeding progress. And what we see happening here, especially this time of year, is people say one of the top 3 New Year's resolutions is exercising more. And the problem with that is when we go and we start slaving away at the gym for hours upon hours on the elliptical or the treadmill, we can actually really work against our body. And, you know, a lot of times this time of year, people will say, I'm going to train for a marathon this year. And if you love running and you want to run a marathon because you feel like it's a great goal, then go for it. But if you're doing it to lose weight, then it's definitely not your best choice. What happens is with this long duration cardiovascular exercise, we actually increase our stress hormones in our bodies. And then it makes it much more difficult for our body to lose fat because that exercise and that long duration of physical stress on the body makes our cortisol levels actually increase and stay elevated, you know, even when we're resting. So really that kind of exercise is not what's optimal. Instead, this short duration, high intensity exercise that incorporates heavy weight training is the best solution for fat loss. And yes, this is for women too. Quite often I hear people say, oh, that's for men and that's for people that want to bulk up. And that is not the case. Our female hormones are just frankly not built in a way that encourage our bodies to gain a lot of mass if we're eating correctly. So, you know, you choosing dumbbells that are heavy and challenging for you and taking plenty of rest and doing this short duration high intensity training is where you're going to lose fat. So you don't have to spend hours a day working out, 15 to 20 minutes, and you can get a really great result. So we've put together a program that takes into consideration these 3 factors. So more than just considering calories, we pull in this very powerful hormonal impact of food. We address the food sensitivities, and we incorporate these short duration fat loss focused workouts for a packaged solution that works. And this is called the Trim Body Transformation. So we put together this program along with Nature's Pearl. They've supported us and helped us all along the way. It's been a fantastic conglomeration of efforts, and the results speak for themselves. We couldn't be more excited for the transformations and being a part of these life-changing, you know, just this energy that comes around the program and the product. It's just so exciting to be a part of. And our program is a 3-phase program. So it's a 12-week program, but that doesn't mean it ends at week 12. In fact, that's just the starting point, because this is, in fact, a way for you to change your lifestyle forever. So just quickly to go through our phases, our kickstart is the first 4 weeks of the program. So we have nutrition ground rules. We use the valuable NP Pro Shake that Brock was talking about earlier today for 2 shakes per day. We do give a lot of flexibility in the meal planning because this is built to be customized to you and your schedule. We start with just basic leisure walking during our first 2 weeks, and then we begin to incorporate body weight exercises that are built to burn fat, as we mentioned earlier. Our second phase of the program is called Change Gears, and that's weeks 4 through 8, and that's when we begin to incorporate our weight training efforts, but also we begin to customize the program for you. So we take any feedback that your body is providing, any hunger, energy, cravings issues. If you're not feeling like you're getting the results that you need, we give you a very specific step-by-step way to make adjustments for each challenge that you're facing. And we also begin to just really understand our body's feedback. Our goal in this program is to help you learn to listen to your body so that you understand what it is telling you. You know, those foods that it doesn't tolerate well, really to pay attention to your energy and not to just assume that the way you feel is just because of your age or just because of your, medical condition or whatnot. Our final phase of the program, which is maybe the most important, is our cruise phase. And this is where we learn to make this a lifestyle, where we take things like boredom and running out of willpower and that kind of thing, and we expect that those are going to happen. Life circumstances are going to happen. So we have to prepare for those and be ready when they happen so that we have a plan of attack so that we can really make this, again, a forever lifestyle, not just another 12-week diet.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this program, and hopefully you guys have been catching in or following along about how unique this program is. I don't think there's, not that I know of at least, any program out there that takes into consideration all of these factors, about taking into the hormonal impact of food, taking into consideration the food sensitivities, wheat and dairy, or taking into consideration how not all exercise is created equal. So again, it's a groundbreaking program, and the more you know about health and exercise, the more you understand how groundbreaking this is, because unfortunately most of the programs out there are still kind of are lagging behind, and this is really what the evidence is telling us is working, and this is what the science is telling us is working. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the product that we use in combination with the Trim Body Transformation, and this is the Impede Pro Protein Powder. And this is the protein powder that I had the honor to work on with Nature's Pearl. And it's been an awesome program, or it's been an awesome experience just being able to come up with what I would think of as the best protein powder that would be available. So in the development, there are a couple things that we had to make the decision with. One of the first thing was what should we use as the base? And when I was talking about the food sensitivity as being a major problem, again, I see this every day about people having problems with gluten products or people having problems with dairy products. So the biggest decision with that point was to make sure this was hypoallergenic. And if you look at most of the protein powders out there, and I do have to kind of press my patients when they come in and say, yeah, I'm avoiding dairy, and I ask them what type of protein powder they're using, they always are using a whey-based or casein-based protein powder, and that is still dairy. So if you're trying to lose weight, switching over to or trying a whey-based protein powder or a casein-based protein powder, not the best idea. So hypoallergenic is going to be gluten-free, dairy-free. The other thing when you had to come up with the base was that if we wanted to not do dairy-based, and if we wanted to be plant-based, what almost all of the other protein powders out there they're made of soy. And soy has its own problems in its own right. Soy is also one of the higher allergenic foods. It's probably number 3 or 4 on the list, with wheat and dairy being number 1 and 2. Soy also has its problems with hormones. So with women, this is probably not the best idea to be eating a lot of soy, especially concentrated soy like you get with protein powder, because it does have estrogenic property. The other problem with soy is that it also affects thyroid activity. This is a goitrogenic food, which has actually been shown to increase the size of goiters in thyroid, and can actually slow down thyroid production by the thyroid gland. So I would also say it's better to avoid soy when you're trying to lose weight, because thyroid is very important for metabolism. So we want to make sure, again, it's dairy-free, that it's soy-free. And then the other thing is we want to make sure this was a clean protein powder. You know, almost all the other protein powders, if you look at the back of the label, you're going to see so much junk in that protein powder. You're not going to want to put that in your body. You know, we see a bunch of sucralose in protein powders. That is a major sweetener that is used, and that is really, in my book, that's a toxin to the body. You know, they use a lot of artificial sweeteners. They use a lot of artificial preservatives, dyes, you know, things that your body does not know what to do with. So we wanted to keep this as natural as possible. Beyond that, we also wanted to enhance it with the muscadine grape. You know, working in conjunction with Nature's Pearl, we knew that we were on a gold mine here also with the muscadine grape, because this thing is a power-packed fruit. This thing is remarkable. I've done a lot of research on this, and it has a lot of health benefits. It's a super antioxidant. It is a great anti-inflammatory. I use it in the practice quite a bit. It just has so many nice properties to it that it has a lot of health benefits. The phytonutrients are kind of tough to keep track of. There's so many in there. But really, again, the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory component of the muscadine grape is really tough to match. So what we did, we also included that in each serving of the protein powder was a serving of the muscadine grape seed and skin. So a really high nutrition-packed, hypoallergenic, and great tasting protein powder, which is tough to do with all of those requirements. So here's just kind of a brief rundown of the nutrition ground rules. So first thing is 5 small meals or snacks a day. The next thing is the Impede Pro Shake, and this is going to be important to emphasize that where we're replacing the bad stuff, we're going to be replacing with a good Impede Pro Shake for 2 of the meals or snacks per day. And then you can read through the rest of these, but this is basically telling you this is the way you should be eating when you're trying to eat clean. You know, trying to get off the wheat and dairy, get off the processed foods, stop the simple sugars, get off the artificial sweeteners, drink more water. All these things are very important, and we'll walk you through how to do that.
So this is our daily meal planner, and this is just a little glimpse of kind of what happens when you do begin our trim body transformation. This kind of tells you about how to put your foods together from a serving size perspective, so we don't expect you to start weighing foods or figuring out how many ounces your apple is. You know, we try to keep this, we try to take the fact that everyone is very busy and has a very limited amount of time to really focus in on, you know, making sure their nutrition is optimal all the time. So we'd like to take a very realistic approach to this, but we make it very simple. You know, you have an option for each meal and snack, and one of those is always using MP Pro as a part of your day. And some people love to eat them for breakfast and lunch, and other people love to have them for their snacks. Everyone has a different favorite shake and a different time of day that they find it optimal. And to the exercise component, we are very, very excited. We've been working incredibly hard to put together these cutting-edge workouts for you, and providing you with a DVD of a body weight workout and then 4 15-minute weights-based workouts that are put together by me. I coach through lots of our trim body transformation participants and NP Pro users that are kind of used to this style of workouts. They are for all levels, so if you're a very much a beginner and just getting started, we really coach form a lot. We give a beginner intermediate level, and then also we give a more advanced level. So these really are for everyone. We have very experienced exercisers that helped us to put this DVD together, and they definitely got a great workout as well. So this is one of my favorite resources that we have now. You've really got everything you need right there to put in your DVD player at home and get your workouts on, no gym required.
Yeah, the other great thing about these workouts is that it's great for all levels. I'm not sure if you mentioned that, Emily, but it's good for beginners, good for the athletes. You know, I did these workouts. They're tough. They're tough, but like I said, you don't have to be an athlete to do them. You can be starting, you know, from just the beginning, and this is a great place to get going.
The other great resource that we have is our Trim Body Transformation closed page. So you can join this once you decide to join our transformation. We have fantastic coaching that happens here. We have great support. We have recipe ideas. We have all kinds of great things happening on this page. And we know everyone is getting started with New Year's resolutions and wanting to make 2015 their healthiest year yet. So we're going to kind of start from the beginning and walk you through how to make these changes as part of your lifestyle. So if you choose to join us tonight on the transformation, you don't want to miss the great coaching that happens on this page. And I'll take this opportunity to go ahead and introduce our Trim Body Transformation coach, which is Debbie Wilkins-Basden, and she's helping us answering questions right now. And I know she's very, very busy, but she is helping us to really make this a part of your lifestyle. She is a very busy mom with 4 boys. She's a wife. She's got her own business, and she's also helping us with all of our Nature's Pearls. She's busy. She gets it. She understands it. She's very honest. She's also hysterical. She is a perfect coach to help walk us through every step of this program. Incredibly knowledgeable. She walks this walk herself, and she's just doing a great job helping us with all those awesome transformations that you've already seen. So don't get stuck on another diet that won't work in 2015. Join us in the Trim Body Transformation and find out how to make fat loss a lifestyle forever. We're going to tell you a little bit about some of our transformations. This is Amy. She is a busy mom. As you can see, she wasn't incredibly overweight or anything like that. She just did not feel good. She wanted to get back to feeling the way she did before having kids. And Impede Pro and the Trim Body Transformation gave her the tools she needed. As you can see, she looks incredibly fit and healthy and has plenty of energy to chase those kids around. This is one of my favorites. This is Tyler. You can see he lost about 40 pounds in 9 weeks. Their entire family has been part of the Trim Body Transformation. This is something that children and adolescents can take part in. There is absolutely nothing unsafe in our supplement or in our protein powder. Our son is going to turn 2 in less than a week, and he has been using Impede Pro almost daily in the form of shakes and bars since he was less than a year old. Fantastic nutrition, a great way to get the veggies in, and as you can see, we can teach kids to change their lifestyle while they're still young and have plenty of time to feel great for many years. And this one is near and dear to me. This is my mom. She is now down 60 pounds. The last time that we talked about her, she was more on the 50 mark. So, and actually her after picture's a little outdated. That's from the summer, so we'll have to get a new one. But she has literally transformed everything, and she is the one that's now waking me up early in the morning with tons of energy saying, let's get our workout in, let's get our shake in, and start this day right. This is John. He is back in his military jumpsuit after many decades. We're so proud of this transformation, and he is looking amazing, feeling amazing, and just has a new leash on life.
Yeah, and that's what I emphasize. You know, these before and afters, like Brock was saying at the beginning of this, these have really all been within the last year. You know, so we're seeing dramatic results, you know, in 3 months and 6 months and a year. We're just getting started with these transformations. And again, the beautiful thing is that people that really stick to it, it really does work. So we're seeing some awesome transformations. We hope that you can join us in that transformation. And we're blessed to work with Nature's Pearl. They put together, you know, some really great resources to help you figure out how to do this. And Emily and I have been talking about that, but the program is there. The program is there. If the program works, the protein powder is second to none. You're not going to be able to find a better, higher quality protein powder. Trust me, I've looked. And you have the resources. You have the coach to actually walk you through this process. So, you know, now's the time to make a change. Don't look back at 2015 and say, man, I wish I was healthier than I was last year. Make this the year of health. That's what I'm telling my patients, that I need that little motivation. Make this your year. 2015, this is going to be the year that you're healthier than you were last year, and that's what every goal should be for every year. So I think that's it for our presentation.
We're going to turn it back over to Brock. Make sure you stick around. He's got some really exciting things to share with you. So Brock, once we get to everything switched over, we'll just jump right back over to you.
Okay, Dr. Wiggy and Emily, we thank you so much for the presentation tonight. excellent job and excellent information as always. And guys, what we're going to do, we're going to get right back to them with some questions here tonight. We appreciate your patience while we had a challenge with the audio, but everything is great now to get those questions in. So continue to send those questions, and hopefully you're seeing our specials on the line right now on your screen. And we're going to start your year off right with MP Pro, and what a better way than the company offering our best deal ever on this product. And when you take a look at premium protein powders in the marketplace, and especially vegetable-based protein powders, then you'll see these for literally one canister or one bag going for $49, $59. So how about 4 canisters for $89.99? So take a look at this arrangement. You can get your choice, 4 packs of the vanilla or 4-pack of chocolate, or break it down 2 and 2. And this is going to start tonight with our webinar, and it's going to end on 1/31/15. So we're going to end this at the end of this week. So we're going to go back, get links to this webinars, and cut out the portions where we were struggling with the audio and get this where you can get this to other people. But when you take a look and break this down, guys, my math shows that you're getting a shake. You're literally getting a meal for less than $1.50. In fact, it's about $1.43 at this price. So take advantage of this, and we're going to also show you here in just a moment the new workout DVDs and trim body transformation booklet that will ship with this on our webinar orders only. So if you take a look now, we want to introduce just a few more products. If you wanted to add our energy shots, let me tell you briefly about this energy shot. It's got a very good natural caffeine source. This is a green coffee extract for the caffeine. So this is a premium energy shot. This is a pack that you can get, of course, the 4 canisters of NP Pro, 2 bottles of our flagship supplement to take as a daily antioxidant, and also our energy shot for $219. This pack is over a $300 product value, but you can get it tonight with our webinar for $219. The transformation pack, you'll see we introduce our toxic-free skincare, and next month Dr. Wiggy and Emily are going to be talking a little bit more about the toxic-free lifestyle and our award-winning pure 100% muscadine juice. So take a look at the value here. 2 bottles of supplement, 4 canisters of our protein powder, 1 case of energy shots, 1 shampoo, 1 conditioner, 1 lotion, 2 10-ounce bottles of our premium 100% muscadine grape juice. And then finally, guys, we're going to show you what comes along with the webinar packs for the special only. You're going to get our transformation guide and workout DVD. I love the fact that you can go on Facebook and get the information, but this is awesome to have a step-by-step. We see a lot of the questions tonight. A lot of it is about your food list. A lot of it is about the things outside of NP Pro and the actual protein shake itself. So this is going to walk you through all 3 phases. And also, this is literally, guys, fresh off the press, if you will. The videos will be coming in. This gives you not only a nice introduction to show your friends about this, but you have a warm-up workout, you have your body weight workout, and then you have several workouts with weight and also a cool-down session. So this is easily a $100 value, and we're going to ship this out for free when you order on the webinar tonight. Now let's show you exactly where to do that. And before we bring that link up, I'm going to just make a mention. That's fine, actually. You can go back to that link. We're going to, guys, save the date. We're going to have our next webinar, which is how to have a toxic-free family. A very important subject, and that's going to be February the 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, again with Dr. Wiggy and Emily. So please get registered for that as we send out the links and get that information spread around. Okay, now where to order, and then we'll jump right back into our questions tonight as we take the time to answer a few questions before everything gets closed out this evening. So please get those questions in. But visit this link, guys, http://npprowebinar.com. and this is the only link where you can get these specials. Very important if you had one of our partners that directed you to the webinar this evening, to make sure that you, in fact, you're going to have to, as a requirement, put in their name, and also if you can send them a quick email and see what their partner ID is with Nature's Pearl. We want to make sure that we know that they brought you to the webinar this evening. So, guys, we thank you so much for taking your time. I think this has been very insightful, and we're going to have a much healthier 2015. So, Wiggy and Emily, you and Debbie, you guys take it over and answer some questions. And thank you again from the bottom of our hearts for being on the call here tonight. Thank you so much.